welcome to Live at 4 on this Tuesday. Refreshing. You turned your air conditioner off.
Yeah, that might have been wishful thinking on my part. It's a nice day today, but it's still a little on the warm side. But I gave it a little bit of a breather.
Yeah, I think we all need a little breather. But it is warm out there. We'll get to the weather in a minute. First, here's what's making news on this Tuesday. In-person absentee voting begins today for the August election. Political reporter Amy Reed tells us how the clerk's office feels now compared to April's election.
Some property owners in Fitchburg are a little surprised after their properties were reassessed with no warning.
And a rude awakening for a homeowner on Madison's west side after a stolen car crashes into a house. Let's take a look outside. Beautiful July day out there. Pleasant weather to continue. And the always pleasant Dana Fulton is in the backyard. Look at what's to come.
You're too kind. Right now, actually, it's really nice on the patio. We have a mostly sunny sky. Here's a live look with our Edgewater sky cam. A few clouds overhead. There is still a chance for some showers and thunderstorms this evening and tonight. Right now, all that seems to be well north of Dane County. So if you're trying to get out real quick for this evening for dinner, really think you should be just fine. Temperatures are in the mid-80s, so it's a little warm outside. We don't have to factor in much of a heat index, though. Thankfully, it only feels about a degree or two warmer than our actual temperatures. Again, those showers right now well to the north, even north of the Dells. We're starting to see some rain build in. We will have the chance for showers and thunderstorms tonight as our dew points creep up a little bit. But notice that temperature trend climbing again tomorrow and then dropping down close to 60 degrees for our overnight lows heading into Thursday. So it'll be a little cooler outside. But the pleasant trend as far as staying close to average, that will continue on. Right now, the Beltline looks fine. The interstate all the way through Rock County should be fairly smooth for you this evening. From Janesville to the Beltline, about 25 minutes, 17 minutes to get from Sauk City to Middleton, and Sun Prairie to downtown. Just a quick 9-minute drive for you on this sunny evening. Definitely grab the shades. You're going to need them. But with those rain chances, we'll take a closer look at them in just a few minutes.
All right, Dana, we'll check back in a few minutes. In-person absentee voting started today in Madison.
Our Amy Reed is live to explain what's on the ballot and what you need to do to get your vote counted. Amy?
Today marks 2 weeks until the partisan primary, which means in-person absentee voting officially started today. And you can see some people took advantage of this early. Voters are marking their ballots for who they think should continue on to November. In our area, there are a few contested races for the state legislature, one each for the Assembly and Senate, with 7 Democrats competing, sometimes with no Republican challenger to take on later this year. So the results will matter, and thankfully clerks feel much better prepared for this race than the last one in April.
Between when the pandemic was declared and when the election was a very short amount of time, and so there wasn't a lot of time for a lot of preparation or adaptation. But having gone through that, I feel like we've learned a lot, the state learned a lot, and the voters learned a lot.
With this being a partisan primary, you are only allowed to vote for one party on your ballot, and there's a place for you to choose Republican, Democrat, or Constitution at the top. The Madison City Clerk's office told me so long as you mark your preference there, the machine should be able to count your ballot correctly. Now, when it comes time to drop it off, there are a few places around Madison at a few different times at our local libraries, and right now those are at Penny, Alicia Ashman, and Sequoia libraries from 2 until 6. The clerk also has someone there that can provide your witness signature.
August 11th is the partisan primary. Amy Reed reporting live. Thank you, Amy. More than 50,000 people have tested positive for COVID-19 in Wisconsin. More than 700 of them testing positive within the last day or so. 911 people have died, including another death in Dane County. There is good news, however. The percentage of positive cases in Wisconsin continues to go down. Around 5% of tests within the last few days have come back positive.
As coronavirus cases continue to rise across the country, White House health experts are urging several states to scale back. Nationwide, over 4 million people have contracted COVID-19 and more than 148,000 people have died. Speaking in Virginia, Dr. Deborah Birx from the White House Coronavirus Task Force once again urged governors in certain states to close bars and limit indoor seating. In California, the state with the most cases, worshipers packed onto this beach near San Diego over the weekend, many not wearing masks. Currently, more than 2,000 people are hospitalized in Los Angeles County. More than a quarter of those patients are in ICU. But the mayor of Los Angeles says progress is being made.
Seeing the curve bending down again.
Two large-scale coronavirus vaccine trials are now underway in the U.S., including one developed by drug maker Moderna with 30,000 volunteers. On Tuesday, the second-largest teachers union in the U.S., the American Federation of Teachers, said it would support a strike in states that move to reopen without proper precautions, but only as a last resort.
4 days. That is how long Democrats and Republicans have to make a deal before federal unemployment benefits expire for millions of Americans. But as lawmakers debate the next round of coronavirus relief, Capitol Hill and the White House are at a stimulus stalemate. The Senate Republican proposal includes incentives for schools to reopen, tax cuts and liability protections for businesses, hospitals and schools from lawsuits related to the pandemic. The Republican plan slashes federal unemployment payments from $600 per week to $200 a week before being replaced by a federal and state unemployment hybrid.
Taxpayers should not pay people more not to work than people who do go back to work.
Democrats also want a direct stimulus payment, but their $3 trillion plan keeps unemployment benefits as is while including housing relief and food assistance. Residents in Fitchburg, property owners there, say their property assessments went up, in some cases by a lot.
And many say they got no notice from the city that this would be happening. Amanda Quintana is here with one farm owner's story. Amanda?
Yes, Mark and Susan, wheat crop farmer Mark Jones says the first thing he said when he opened the mail with his updated property assessment was wow. He says his assessment went way up. He says 2020 has been a bad year for everyone, and to be hit like this without notification is really hard.
With the crop prices the way they are and the limited amount of income, it's to get hit with a huge increase in the assessment is a big problem if you get hit all in 1 year.
Jones says he's going to the city council meeting tonight to ask this assessment to be rescinded for everyone and ask that instead it's done over a 2 to 3 year period, giving people an opportunity to budget or save for it. This doesn't necessarily mean if you live in Fitchburg, your taxes will also go up, but unless the mill rate is changed, that's what a lot of property owners will see.
All right, Amanda, thank you. Madison police say a teenager is in custody after crashing a stolen car into a home on the west side overnight. This happened on South Whitney Way, just south of Vitance Gulfland. Madison police say the car was being chased by several other law enforcement agencies when it crashed. But per MPD policy, their officers were not involved in the chase. The driver, who was under the age of 18, was arrested along with 2 others. Police say they found rifle ammunition and burglary tools inside the car. Officials could not confirm if anyone was home at the time, but they say there were no injuries.
Attorney General William Barr spent several hours on the hot seat in front of the House Judiciary Committee. The hearing featured plenty of partisan attacks from both sides. Skylar Henry has more from Capitol Hill.
Attorney General William Barr delivered a full-throated defense of federal officers during an often combative House hearing.
Since when is it okay to try to burn down a federal court? Is that okay? Is that okay now? No, the U.S. Marshals have a duty to stop that and defend the courthouse, and that's what we are doing in Portland.
Democrats accused Barr of using federal officers to help the president look tough on crime.
The president wants footage for his campaign ads, and you appear to be serving it up to him as ordered. In most of these cities, the protests had begun to wind down before you marched in and confronted the protesters.
George Floyd's death under the knee of a police officer sparked the protests, but the nation's top law enforcement officer says police are not the problem.
I don't agree that there's systemic racism in the police department.
Specifically,
generally in this country.
You seem to have a difficult time understanding systemic racism and institutional racism.
President Trump has made law and order a central part of his re-election campaign, and Attorney General Barr and House Republicans defended the president's policies and his talking points.
Is defunding the police a rational policy?
No, I think, if anything, I'm more concerned that the police be adequately funded.
Barr says peaceful protests have been hijacked.
Antifa is heavily represented in the recent riots. That's not to say they're the only group.
President Trump frequently blames the protests on anarchists and Antifa. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And Barr also said widespread mail-in voting would make it easier for foreign countries to interfere in the upcoming election. When asked if he had proof, Barr responded that it's, quote, common sense.
Well, less than a week into the delayed Major League Baseball season and some games being postponed, with today's Yankees-Phillies matchup added to that list. That's after more than a dozen players and staff on the Miami Marlins tested positive for COVID-19. Commissioner Rob Manfred said owners have not yet considered canceling or suspending the season.
We expected we were going to have positives at some point in time. I remain optimistic that the protocols are strong enough that it will allow us to continue to play.
His comments come as managers and players remain concerned for their safety. Reigning World Series championship manager Dave Martinez of the Washington Nationals is among them. He has a heart condition that caused him to miss games last season. Experts say the Marlins should quarantine for 2 weeks, but it's premature to suspend the whole season. Well, still to come at 4, are you in a hamburger, hot dog, grilling rut?
There are a lot of other foods, believe it or not, that are grill-worthy. Consumer Reports has some suggestions for you. We'll have that when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, Live at 4.
The time is right to do something nice for your home. Why not replace your gutters with LeafGuard, the only gutter system that has earned the Good Housekeeping seal of approval? Hi, I'm Andrew Larson, owner of Larson Home Services. LeafGuard's patented one-piece seamless design keeps leaves and debris out, which means no more clogs, guaranteed. LeafGuard carries a lifetime warranty, so your home's foundation will be protected forever, and our customers couldn't be happier.
They're the best. I don't have to worry about the gutters getting clogged up with the seeds, the branches, the dirt, the roof sheddings, and it's just one less worry for me.
And right now, save big on your new LeafGuard brand gutter system and get some incredible extras. Order now and save 75% on installation labor, get free financing for a year, and a $100 Visa gift card. Call to set up your free estimate today.
I'm too sexy for my shirt, too sexy for my shirt, so sexy it hurts. And I'm too sexy for Milan, too sexy for Milan, New York.
Sometimes you run out of fresh at the wrong time. Luckily, Pick and Save delivery and free pickup make it easy to grab what you need, so you can get back to being you. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
When you think of a bank, you think of people in a place. But when you have the Chase mobile app, your bank can be virtually any place. So when you get a check, you can deposit it from here. And you can see your transactions and check your balance from here. You can save for an emergency from here. Or pay bills from here. So when someone asks you, where's your bank? You can tell them, here's my bank. Or here's my bank. Or here's my bank. Because if you download and use the Chase mobile app, your bank is virtually any place. Visit chase.com/mobile.
Seattle's pledged to defund its police department by 50%, even including a proposal to remove 911 dispatchers from police control.
Joe Biden said he's absolutely on board with defunding the police. Listen closely.
Yes, absolutely.
Hello, you've reached 911. I'm sorry that there is no one here to answer your emergency call, but leave a message and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
Crime will rise significantly.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Find your keys. Find your get up and go. Find pants that aren't sweats. Find your friends. Find your sense of wonder. Find the world is new again. At Chevy, we'd like to take you there. Now, during the Chevy Open Road Sales Event, get up to 15% of MSRP cash back on select 2020 models. That's over $5,700 cash back on this Equinox. It's time to find new roads again.
And welcome back. The Emmy nominations were announced today. We weren't on it.
No, not this year.
Again.
Maybe next time. Comedian and Saturday Night Live cast member Leslie Jones announced the nominees in Los Angeles. HBO's Watchmen dominated the Emmy nominations with 26 nods, including Best Limited Series. The dystopian superhero drama, which tackles issues of race and police violence, also racked up nominations for stars Regina King and Jeremy Irons. Amazon's The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel snagged 20 nominations, including Best Comedy Series. Netflix's gritty drama Ozark also stands to take home a lot of trophies, 18 nominations, including Best Drama. This year, streaming and digital platforms could be the biggest winners, with a collective 269 nominations.
Some good shows there.
And then the awards are in September.
September, right.
As many businesses and organizations struggle to stay afloat during the pandemic, nonprofit organizations have been hit especially hard.
Nonprofits across the country are struggling in the pandemic as the need for many of their services, like food banks, rise while donations plummet. According to the National Council of Nonprofits, an estimated 1.6 million nonprofit jobs have been lost over the past 3 months, and 13% of nonprofits have been forced to suspend some or all of their operations. National Council of Nonprofits President Tim Delaney says the situation is dire.
We're often referred to as the good people, the angels who are out there doing things. Well, I'm here to tell you that angels have to pay their rent, angels have to pay their utilities, angels have to pay their employees. Angels do have costs.
Dawn, who is herself a COVID-19 survivor, has turned to online fundraising to keep her charity alive. There is some hope on the horizon for the nonprofits. Recently, the Federal Reserve announced their Main Street lending program will now be available for nonprofit organizations that have been established for 5 years or longer. Disappointing earnings reports from McDonald's and 3M sent stocks lower. The Dow Industrials lost 205 points, closing at 26,379. The NASDAQ gave up 134, and the S&P 500 was off almost 21. Well, grilling doesn't have to mean burgers and hot dogs on meat on repeat.
Meat on repeat, right. Consumer Reports in-house chef shares some fresh ideas to inspire your grilling season and some tips on buying the right grill. News 3's Chris Stanford reports.
Consumer Reports' Paul Hope writes about grills, but he's also a trained chef. And while he loves a good pork shoulder on the grill, he says grilling can help you get your greens and so much more.
You can actually grill leafy greens just like you can anything else.
Grilled veggies like eggplant, zucchini, and onions are all good go-to grilled veggies. You can expand your non-meat repertoire to create interesting tastes and dishes too, like grilled polenta with roasted tomatoes. Or try grilling celery. Grill the celery until it's tender, then you can toss it in with some truffle oil, Parmesan, and crushed red pepper. A new take on an already easy meal? Skewer pre-cooked meatballs and cook until heated through. They're fun and easy to eat, and try swapping in ground turkey for a new take. You can give soon-to-be expired bread new life on the grill, too. Just add a little olive oil, sprinkle with salt and pepper, and enjoy as is or top with some grilled veggies. Paul says not to shy away from fish either.
You start with a fish that's a little heartier and that's not going to flake and fall apart. Something like salmon, tuna are both great choices. You want to oil the fish itself and season it, but you also want to oil the grill grates right before you put the fish down.
If you want to splurge on a new grill, this $750 Weber Genesis tops CR's ratings for midsize grills.
So as a brand, Weber tends to do very well in our grill ratings, and they also come out near the very top of our annual surveys of reliability and owner satisfaction.
And if you're constantly cooking for a crowd, consider this large-size grill from Momentum Grills, a Consumer Reports Best Buy. It outperformed other large-size grills that cost twice as much, if not more. For Consumer Reports, I'm Chris Stanford, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Chris. Those are some great ideas. Another great grilling option, says Consumer Reports, pizza on the grill. You can buy a pre-made pie or get creative with your own. Komodo
style grill works wonders with a thin crust, but you can also try grilling your favorite pizzas on a gas grill with a pizza stone at a high temperature.
That's what Hattie McLean does,
yes, she
right?
does,
yeah, and she raves it.
She loves it.
All right, that's something interesting to try.
Well, Moving on, tragically, every year children die inside a hot car.
But they don't have to. When we come back, we'll take a look at some new technology to help prevent this from happening. That's coming up after Dana's firstborn forecast.
Today, you can turn your home into a university, and you can turn a lasting career into reality. With Herzing University, you can earn a degree in today's hottest fields, anytime, online. Herzing is recognized, accredited, experienced, and transfer-friendly, with more than 90% student satisfaction. For a limited time, we'll waive your enrollment fee. See what your career can turn into with Herzing University. I'm possible at Herzing. Call or click today.
This right here is confidence in a bottle. It just gives you such a boost of confidence.
Not only does it change you on the outside, but something in the inside, knowing that you're looking better.
It makes me feel so much more confident than I've ever felt in my life.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Well, today we're going to see one for ourselves and let you be the judge. It's called Plexiderm, and lifestyle expert Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video, and you'll notice the model has bags underneath his eyes and some sagging, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face, and that's how easy it is.
All right, what's the active ingredient?
Okay, so it's silicates that are minerals found in shale rock, and what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes in as little as 10 minutes, no prescriptions, and very little effort. Even watching the video, this is a real it's a model, but it's a real guy with real bags underneath his eyes. And I did this to my father. We were at home. I had the timer on, and we were screaming. 4 minutes, 34 seconds, completely gone.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera. These lines bother me. They really do. And this is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles. So it targets all those problem areas.
So this would be a daily thing, or
it absolutely could be a daily thing. But the way you want to do it is you want to have a clean, dry face. You use a small amount because it's so powerful. You have high school reunions, you have events you want to go to, you want to look years younger. This is it.
At our $14.95 price, it's the best way to try Plexiderm and see it work for yourself after your first application. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
I am crushing this to-do list.
Let me see. Smart home upgrade? Home gym?
Check.
What about the window, siding, and doors?
Cross something important off your list. Free installation on all windows, siding, and doors. And no interest for 1 year. The biggest sale of the year is here.
Free installation ends Friday. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feltco.
Well, take a look at this. Can you identify the objects in these super close-up images? The first one, incredibly, is a pear.
Wow.
All the items featured in this brain teaser are shot with macro lenses to get sharp, highly detailed images. It's fascinating how foreign something we see every day can look when zoomed in at such a tight view. The captivating conundrum was put together and posted on the Macrofine YouTube channel. What do you think that is?
Wow, I didn't get a single one right.
What do you think that is?
I don't know.
Egg.
Wow.
An eggshell.
You could watch this all day long and not get a thing done.
These are fascinating. A pencil. Is that graphite? Oh, it's a knife blade.
A knife
Dang
blade.
it. Is there another one?
Oh, there's one more.
Okay, one more. Go for it, Dana.
I don't know. Shoe. Or not. Soap.
There's
Okay,
the
back
pear
to the
again.
bear.
All right. It is fascinating.
I got a few of them, and then I
There's
didn't
more.
get into the end.
All right, that's a good macro look at the weather.
Very cool. Weather-wise, we are keeping an eye on the chance for some showers and storms over the next few hours and tonight. Not expecting anything too heavy to rumble through. Hard to think about showers when this is the current view outside. We'll look at what's going on the radar right after the break.
Now, a WISC-TV editorial with editorial director Neil Heinen.
July 26, 1990, President George H.W. Bush signed into law protection from discrimination against millions of people with disabilities and ensured their right to reasonable accommodations. The Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA, is one of the most important civil rights laws in our nation's history. 30 years later, we both celebrate and acknowledge the challenges that remain. This time in history, this pandemic reminds us of the lingering disproportionate impacts living with disabilities presents. Health and safety precautions, including social distancing, are especially hard for many people with disabilities. And years of undervaluing the work ethic and skills of people with disabilities has contributed to unnecessary employment shortages. So barriers and obstacles remain. But at the same time, we celebrate the distance we have come. And given how many of us have disabilities and will have disabilities, the importance of ADA cannot be overstated.
Dear Penny, heads we stay local, tails we hit the road. With a new Toyota, you'll always land a winner. Your friends, Toyota.
Get 1.9% financing for 60 months on a new 2020 RAV4 or RAV4 Hybrid. Toyota.
We are the Thrivers, women with metastatic breast cancer. Our time for more time has come. Living longer is possible and proven in postmenopausal women taking Kisqali plus fulvestrant. In a clinical trial, Kisqali plus fulvestrant helped women live longer with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer, and it significantly delayed disease progression. Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious liver problems and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of an infection, are or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Ask your doctor about living longer with Kisqali.
From a checkup to an emergency visit, SSM Health is ready to provide the high-quality care you've come to expect. And all our facilities are prepared to keep patients safe, in person or online. We're here. Schedule a visit today.
Wells Asphalt Paving, expert paving for over 40 years. Now offering $250 off your asphalt paving project. For residential and commercial, from new construction to replacements. Call today and save at Wells Asphalt Paving.
Right now, we're at a crossroads. We've seen what can happen when we elect a leader determined to divide us. As president, Joe Biden will forge a new path by growing an economy that works for working families, getting small businesses back on their feet, and expanding access to affordable health care. Joe Biden will lead us on the path forward, paved with opportunity for us all.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Dear Penny, heads we stay local, tails we hit the road. With a new Toyota, you'll always land a winner. Your friends, Toyota.
Get 1.9% financing for 60 months on a new 2020 RAV4 or RAV4 Hybrid. Toyota.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Right now we have a lot of sunshine over Dane County. No rain in Dane County yet, or Rock Green, Lafayette. All is nice and dry for southern Wisconsin. You have to go north of the Dells to see those showers. It does look like there's a little bit of lightning along the interstate there, but that rain is going to continue to push further east. So while most of the area will likely stay dry for the next few hours, we could see some of those showers starting to sink further southeast. There is a chance for showers and thunderstorms tonight. Thankfully, not expecting anything too big to bubble up. Just might wake up with a little bit of rain out on the patio. We're back to the sunshine tomorrow with dry conditions stretching from tomorrow and through most of the weekend. Our comfortably warm pattern will continue on as well with our afternoon highs and for overnight lows. So today we did creep up a little bit more, highs in the mid 80s in front of this quick moving cold front. Our showers right now are just right along that, behind that quick moving front. We'll cool down a bit tomorrow and high pressure is going to build back in. So we're back to that sunshine pattern by tomorrow afternoon. Overnight, again, shower chances over the next few hours, maybe close close to midnight, really clears out. For tomorrow morning, we start off with sunshine, and afternoon high temperatures will yet again be in the middle to lower 80s, so a comfortable afternoon expected. For Thursday, we start the day off close to 60 and then back to sunshine in the afternoon. High temperatures will land close to 80 degrees. Here's a nice trend. We didn't see this really at all during July, but our 6 to 10 day outlook likely that we could be trending below average for the middle, starting to get to the creeping into the middle of August. 6 to 10 days out for precipitation. Likely that we're going to stay pretty dry outside, and that really lines up with our 10-day forecast, seeing temperatures trending down a little bit as we enter August and our precipitation staying a little drier. Afternoon highs tomorrow will be stretching again into the mid to low 80s. For Thursday, we'll be close to 80 degrees with partly sunny skies. The dry trend continues on to Friday, mostly sunny, low 80s Saturday and Sunday, and most of the weekend will stay dry. So you have plenty of time to get outside and enjoy the weather, but there is going to be the slight chance for an isolated shower or thunderstorm late in the day on Sunday. Something we'll just keep an eye on the radar, but no need to cancel any plans for later in the day on Sunday right now. Mostly sunny skies as we start off next week. High temperatures will be in the upper 70s. We'll stay mostly Sunday, Monday through Thursday, and then our next chance for a little more measurable rainfall will likely build in towards the end of next week. So a really nice stretch for afternoon highs and sky conditions. It'll be nice for those overnight lows again to be dropping to the upper 50s. Again, that's a nice break for the AC and to have things just a little more comfortable outside early in the day.
Look at next week. That's a nice way to start August.
Yeah, sure is.
Quite pleasant, yes.
All right. Thank you, Dana.
Thank you, Dana.
Well, more than a dozen children have died so far this year in hot cars, even with Americans staying home more because of the coronavirus.
Now, safety advocates are pushing for new technology that can save lives. Nancy Chen reports.
She was a bundle of energy. She was the happiest child.
Jenny Stanley is talking about her daughter, Sydney. In the summer of 2010, the 6-year-old went next door to play with a friend, but no one was there. It's not clear why, but on her way back home, she climbed into her family car and never got out. With her parents thinking Sydney was at the neighbors, she wasn't found until hours later, and the paramedics were called.
So they loaded her in the ambulance and came back in and told us, "We're sorry, there's nothing else we can do for her." It's too late.
A new study from the group Kids in Cars analyzed hot car deaths since 1990. They found an average of 39 children die every year, but that number has jumped to over 50 during the past 2 years. Most cases happen when a parent forgets a child is in the back seat, often believing they had already dropped off their child at school or daycare. But 26% of deaths are like Sydney's, when a child gets in a car on their own.
This one.
Some automakers are installing detection systems that can prevent a tragedy on a voluntary basis.
But safety advocates want new laws that would require technology in all new vehicles that can detect a child in the car.
VitaSense is sensitive enough to detect the breathing of babies.
Kids in Cars held a virtual press conference showing off some new options car companies can install, like this device that alerts parents if a child is left behind.
An unattended child has been detected.
And if a child gets into a car, the 3D imaging radar from VIAR can warn parents. It's technology Jenny is pushing for.
If I can do anything just to prevent one family from having to go through this.
She's hoping Congress will pass legislation forcing automakers to install detection systems that can help prevent another tragedy. Nancy Chen, CBS News, New York.
It seems impossible to think that a parent could do that, but sometimes you just get busy, distracted.
It happens every year.
Yeah, it does.
It's very sad. We'll be right back.
Where can a healthier heart lead you? For people with heart failure taking Entresto, it may lead to a world of possibilities. Entresto helps people stay alive and out of the hospital. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto.
This summer, get back to where you belong, along 60 miles of beautiful wide-open beaches, where family vacations have never been so much fun. With every sunrise and each high tide, the beach is calling you to raise your spirits, make you smile, and bring your family closer together. So stop dreaming and start booking, because we can't wait for you to get here. Visit Myrtle Beach and discover why happiness comes in waves.
Let's summer.
Let's dine out by truly dining out. Let's send smoke signals to the neighbors, then serve up the freshest of food with a side of fresh air. Let's raise our tongs to tasty by introducing our grills to new thrills and make mouths water more than a backyard slip and slide. Let's live a little more by having another s'more. Because summer is here, and no one does summer like Festival Foods.
U.S. Cellular.
Yeah. New customer? What's the deal?
Unlimited data, just $30 a month.
Love that. But what's the deal with the signal? It works everywhere. I'm like sub-level Z of this parking garage, and it still works. It's crazy.
Sure. You're going into signal shock, very common with new customers. Just breathe with me, okay? Unlimited data. Strong signal.
Strong signal.
All for $30 a month.
U.S. Cellular.
Choose fair.
We've got the power. The Power Centers of Madison. Our highly trained service department has the power to keep your equipment running like new. We service all makes and models, from minor tune-ups and maintenance to major overhauls. Our certified mechanics can get your equipment up and running quickly. If you like to fix it yourself, between the two stores, we have the parts you need. At the Power Centers of Madison.
Tonight at 5, Wisconsin officials are putting out a warning about residents getting unsolicited packages containing seeds from China. What you should do if you receive one, that's at 5.
Well, there'll be a chance of showers and thunderstorms tonight. Pleasant and dry summer weather will return tomorrow and last through much of next week. My first warn forecast at 5.
And ahead at 6, a UW health doctor answers community questions about COVID-19. We'll hear some of the most popular questions from people on State Street and the answers.
Look at that shot.
Beautiful.
That's one of the prettiest shots from our tower cam. It's a beautiful Tuesday afternoon over downtown Madison. The pandemic has cost tens of millions of Americans their jobs, and it's also affecting those who depend on freelance work to make a living. 22% of Americans either moved or know someone who's moved due to COVID-19, and in some cases, even leaving their belongings behind.
Anthony Mason introduces us to one artist who faced those difficult challenges, but also found support and friendship from an unlikely group of strangers.
This is where you found it?
Yeah, right here.
Lily Bilgray discovered the paintings by the curb on New York's Upper West Side. It was like garbage thrown out?
It was thrown out like garbage, but I think everybody could see, even random people walking by, that it wasn't.
She'd been alerted by Stooping NYC, an Instagram account that posts images of discarded furniture and art under the motto, "One person's trash is another person's treasure." Lily wasn't the only one who went right there. Was it kind of a crazy scene when you got there?
It was a crazy scene. There were like a whole bunch of people with like art under their arms.
Jack Holton Vinyl, an 8th grade English teacher, snatched up the last painting, a portrait of James Brown, but it seemed almost too good to be true.
I was really cognizant of the fact that this could be someone's work and they might want it back.
What, if anything, did you know about the artist?
We knew nothing, but there were 2 postcards that I found stuck on one of the paintings, and I typed in every name on that postcard I could find, and I was able to find it through that.
His name is Ralph Serrano.
And one morning, my phone was just going crazy. Ding, 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 ding. I was like, what's going on?
Bilgray identified him in the comments of the Instagram post, and people began reaching out.
Obviously sad to see my work in the garbage, but all the messages were just instantly giving me this energy of love and support.
Serrano's signature is on murals all over New York City and back in his native Puerto Rico. But the coronavirus had plunged the 48-year-old artist into crisis.
In New York, was work just drying up for you here in the pandemic?
Oh, yeah. I started getting emails, calls. We're going to have to pause this project. We're canceling this one. Everything just dropped, and it became a very anxious and panicky situation, you know. The whole thing was just heartbreaking to have to leave so suddenly.
After nearly 3 decades in New York, he decided he had to go back to Puerto Rico.
I just thought this would be the best place for me to come and try to, you know, have a new start, you know, just create a new journey.
But Serrano couldn't afford to send all of his work with him.
I didn't have the heart to put it out in the street like that. You know, it was very painful to leave, you know, hard work behind.
How did you even choose what to leave behind?
Basically, what I sent here was my personal favorites and my most valuable work.
But what he left behind was treasure to Lily Bilgray, who's been laid off from her job at a comedy club.
So free art for you is a good find right now.
Absolutely. I think that this is probably the highlight of my quarantine.
Jack Holton Vinyl reached out to Serrano about his James Brown painting.
I told him that I felt like it was his, and he said that he was comfortable with me holding on to the piece, which I'm very, very grateful about.
But you offered to pay him.
After a little insisting, I managed to give him something for the piece.
What have you done with it?
It hangs proudly in my hallway. It's one of the first things you see when you enter my railroad apartment.
I call him Jay now. I actually refer to him as he's a friend. And he was telling me that he's always been a fan of James Brown. So that felt good, you know. I was like, okay, that piece found a home where it's going to be appreciated, and there's some sort of, there's a connection there, you know.
In Puerto Rico, Serrano has set up his studio in his aunt's old apartment, just down the street from his parents' place. And he's made sure his grandmother is looking over them all.
Since eyes are the window to the soul, I thought these were the best way to give her tribute. So, yeah, this is to Abuelita.
He's already been commissioned to paint a new mural here. And Serrano says all the attention has led to 10 new commissions from New York.
Well, this whole thing has been a blessing, I tell you.
Are you hoping to come back to New York, or are you going to stay in Puerto Rico?
I love New York that much that to me, it's such a perfect city for my personality, because I'm so hyperactive and I'm always going, my brain is always going, and New York is just perfect for that. I do love to go back to New York, definitely.
Well, we hope to see you here again.
Thank you, thank you.
What an amazing story, too.
Really is. In addition to the mural commissions around New York City and paintings, Serrano also painted body art at parties and events.
His art pieces usually sell for $500 to $2,500, and his murals up to $5,000. Serrano says as the city went into lockdown over coronavirus this spring, cancellations came in, but new bookings didn't.
Best of luck to him.
Yeah.
Still to come at 4, the coronavirus continues to ravage the world.
We'll get the latest updates from UW Health Dr. Jeff Potoff and find out what he thinks about organized sports, if they're a good idea during the pandemic. We'll talk about that and more when Live at 4 continues.
World-class skiing and championship golf right here in the Midwest? Well, you have found it. Welcome to Merrimack, Wisconsin. Alex, tell us all about Devil's Head Resort.
So Devil's Head Resort is a full-service ski and golf resort right here in Merrimack, Wisconsin. We have 36 golf holes, over 30 ski trails, and you know, just a beautiful setting here.
And let's talk a little bit about the lodging, because this was really a place to come to back in the 70s, and over time you guys have really put some money back into the facility to make it a true destination.
Yeah, so here on the property we offer restaurants, bars, pools, over 250 hotel rooms, pretty much anything you could ever think of that you need on a vacation.
And the beautiful updated condos and cabins are great for an extended family, I would think.
Absolutely, you know, they sleep up to 12 people comfortably, high vaulted ceilings, really beautiful settings, golf in, golf out.
I know you're a golfer, I'm a golfer, so views like this when you head out to any golf course are truly priceless.
Oh, they're unparalleled, especially here in the Midwest. It's not something you normally see when you pull up to a tee box and you're overlooking the beautiful Baraboo Bluffs here.
Enough chit-chat, Alex. I say we go play.
Let's do it.
Alex, cheers to a great round and a nice cold beverage. From Devil's Head Resort in Merrimack, I'm Emmy Fink. Ready, help me out. And you're buzzed into Madison. There you go.
Wouldn't it be nice to not have to deal with your messy gutters anymore? Leave that nasty chore in the rearview mirror with a new Leaf Guard gutter system. Hi, I'm Andrew Larson, owner of Larson Home Services. My team would love to show you how Leaf Guard's patented design keeps leaves and debris out so you can give up cleaning your gutters forever. And now is the best time to get Leaf Guard. Order now and save 75% on installation labor, free financing for a year, and a $100 Visa gift card. Call to set up your free estimate today.
Garver. Garver.
Gather. Ing. Gathering.
Garver.
Gathering.
Garv.
Ing.
Garvering. A socially responsible gathering where a maximum of 250 people enjoy thirst-quenching drinks, delicious food, and the arts in a safe, clean, and touchless outdoor environment. Let's go garvering. Visit thegarverfeedmill.com for dates and details starting June 11th.
Brought to you by News 3 Now, Madison Magazine, and the Garver Feed Mill.
Right now, overall, traffic looks pretty smooth. The Beltline, we aren't seeing any delays, and 39 and 90 all the way through Dane County and Rock County should be pretty smooth. There are a few delays, it looks like, in downtown Janesville right now. Now, from Janesville to the Beltline, we're still at 25 minutes, 16 minutes to get from Sauk City to Middleton, and Sun Prairie to downtown, about 9 minutes this evening. That's a quick look at traffic.
All right, Dana, thank you. Peruvian painter Daniel Manrique knows that behind every new daily tally of COVID-19 deaths, there are stories of the people who passed away and the families left behind in anguish. Because of that, he started a project painting the portraits of COVID-19 victims on walls in public spaces in the neighborhood where they're from. Manrique paints his murals in Lima's San Cristobal Hill neighborhood, an impoverished community high up a slope overlooking Peru's capital city. Peru is in seventh place of coronavirus cases by country globally.
Kind of in awe of that talent.
Yeah, it's very touching. The Major League Baseball season is in jeopardy after several members of the Miami Marlins tested positive for COVID-19.
Now, this is leading a lot of people to ask, if a professional sports league can't prevent the spread, how will a high school team do that? UW Health's Chief Quality Officer, Dr. Jeff Potoff, is back with us tonight. Hi, Dr. Potoff. Good to see you.
Hi, guys. Good to be here.
So do you think what's happening with baseball, what's your take on what that's showing us about the potential high school season?
Yeah, I think when we look at, Major League Baseball and these franchises that have tremendous resources compared to, say, a high school football team or basketball team, and we see them even struggling with this virus, I think it clearly paints a picture that, high school sports where we can't test people every day and we can't put them in their own bubble and lock them away might be exceedingly difficult to do in a safe way when virus numbers are high in our communities.
If they cancel the baseball season, because of this, I would assume other major league sports are in jeopardy as well.
Yeah, I think, if you're, an owner of a team or, you're part of the, the commission, you're really looking carefully at what we're seeing both with the NBA in Florida and with Major League Baseball, and really wondering, how are we going to do this safely when we've had a couple episodes already of teams having outbreaks. And I think, the Marlins are a great example of just how quickly this can spread. It's such a contagious virus that, before you know it, you have, double-digit team members and managers, staff positive before you really even know what hit.
It's such a tough call for parents, too, because things are still sort of trending in the wrong direction, aren't they?
Yeah, I think, in Dane County, we're seeing things flatten just a little bit. But when you look at Wisconsin as a whole, we're still trending in the wrong direction. And I think it's really difficult because there isn't a clear winning solution. We know, parents with their kids in schools or sports, that's clearly important. And there's great value in that. At the same time, no one wants to see their kids sick or infect other people like the school staff or their coaches. So we really are in just difficult times, just trying to make the best of, two not great options.
So the CDC, I believe, came out with something today called clusters, that doctors can look at symptoms and predict how bad a person's going to get sick.
Yeah, this is an interesting study, and it comes out of King's College in the United Kingdom. And what they did is they provided an app to patients who had COVID-19, and they monitored what symptoms patients had. And then they used these huge data sets. They crunched them with computers, and they found 6 symptom types. So not 6 different viruses, but 6 symptom types. And based on the type of symptom a patient fell into, they could predict the percent or how likely it would be that they would require, say, oxygen or a ventilator later on in their stay. So where this would be helpful is if you're a health system and you knew that patients fell into one of these symptom sets. Usually they can tell about 5 days into their symptoms that they might need a ventilator 8 days later. That would help you better prepare for what might be coming. So an interesting study, not yet peer-reviewed. It's going to be scrutinized by scientists, but interesting to see what we can do with computers and huge data sets right now to try to predict the future as to what will happen with patients who have COVID-19.
And 3 symptoms showed up in almost all the clusters.
Yeah, it was headache, loss of smell, and frequently cough, although there was some that didn't have cough.
Are we learning about new symptoms now, or have the symptoms remained relatively consistent for people who are COVID positive?
Yeah, we've added a few. I think, early on, we didn't think that GI symptoms or like abdominal pain or diarrhea were all that common. And as we've gone on, we've learned that there is a subset of people who will predominantly have some gastrointestinal or GI symptoms like diarrhea or stomach cramps. I would say that's something that we know more about now than we did earlier.
We seem to learn something new about this virus every day.
Sure seems like it, doesn't it?
It does. And a lot of people, I think, are a little weary, but it's as bad as it's been, right?
Yeah, I mean, back in March, I don't think any of us knew that this was going to be like an endurance race, to get under control. And it just wears people down, which we all understand. And it just really bears emphasizing those things, social distancing, mask wearing, hand hygiene. Those are the keys right now to get things a little bit more back to normal than what we're in right now.
Yes, due diligence, that's for sure. All right, Doctor, we will talk to you again soon. Thanks for the update, and stay safe.
Great to see you, Dr. Potoff. Thank you so much.
Have a good afternoon, guys.
Well, the final check of your forecast coming up.
Roll playback. 3, 2, 1.
Dear Summer, how do I make the most of you? Do I kick back and relax? Or climb new mountains? I could go and get dirty. Or switch into new lanes. One thing's for sure, it's gonna be great. Can't wait. Toyota.
Right now, you can get 1.9% financing for 60 months on a new 2020 RAV4 or RAV4 Hybrid. Toyota.
Wisconsin weather can be frustrating. Get the latest forecast, alerts, and detailed traffic reports from the News 3 Now team. Download the Channel 3000 Firstborn app, sponsored by Group Health Cooperative, and be prepared for anything headed our way.
Seattle's pledged to defund its police department by 50%, even including a proposal to remove 911 dispatchers from police control.
Joe Biden said he's absolutely on board with defunding the police. Listen closely.
Yes, absolutely.
Hello, you've reached 911. I'm sorry that there is no one here to answer your emergency call, but leave a message and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
Crime will rise significantly.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Arby's 2 for $6 everyday value menu is here. Choose from a crispy chicken sandwich, a gyro, and a beef and cheddar. Any 2 for only $6 every day. Tell your friends, tell your family, yell it from the rooftops, baby. Call that guy who still owes you $6. Arby's, we have the meats.
Hi, everyone. Wednesday morning, Hattie says the sun will be back. She'll tell us just how long the rain's going to stay away.
And the COVID-19 pandemic is highlighting the problem of food insecurity in our community. We'll tell you how you can get involved in health starting at 4:30 on News 3 Now this morning. This year, school is going to be full of changes.
What will school be like, and how can we make sure our kids are safe?
We're getting the answers you need to help you prepare.
So keep an eye on News 3 Now this morning and get ready to go back to school.
Here's a live look at downtown right now with our Edgewater Sky Cam. The lake nice and quiet. Today probably a good afternoon to be out on the water if you're in southern Wisconsin. A little further north, though, we are dealing with some stronger storms. Well north of the Dells, there is a severe thunderstorm warning towards Sheboygan and Fond du Lac counties right now. But that storm, of course, not moving down into our area. We do still have the chance for showers and thunderstorms to develop tonight. Things should stay pretty dry for this evening, though. If you're trying to get out and grill out for dinner, would definitely recommend doing so. Thankfully, these comfortable temperatures will be sticking around with us through the rest of the week.
All right, Tina, thank you. Tomorrow on Live Before, we'll talk about money, relationships, and equality during the pandemic.
And our Concerts on the Square series continues. We'll meet one of the Chamber Orchestra's cellists coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.